What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, your spiritual hype man. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, just remember it's the thoughts in our head. We just either have to shut them off or change the prompt with the things we ask ourselves so that way we can think about something else. Like what's something that we can be proud of? What have we done well? Or what's something that someone else has done good for us? Or, what's happening right now, right at the moment. And again, you can always biohack push-ups, jumping jacks. I think jumping jacks, a side note, jumping jacks I think are probably one of the best exercises to do. And I think I'm going to start this 25-day. I know there's a 25 push-ups in 25 days, but I'm going to go jumping jacks. I'm going to go 25 push-ups, maybe not push-ups, maybe 25 jumping jacks in 25 days. I think that's what I'm going to start doing today. I encourage you to do the same thing. If you're going to do it, go ahead and tag myself, NCUID, at NCUID.com, or your spiritual hype man, of course. You can find me and reach out to me via Instagram. So here's the thing. I know it's been a couple of days, been almost like 10 days since we got on. Lots of things has happened, and I want to go into each section, but here's what the macro is. The macro is this. There's a couple macros in here. The macro is you're going to be building some sort of momentum at some point in life with whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's something. There's going to be some level of momentum, and then there's always going to be some level of checks and balances, right? Things that you don't foresee happening, accidents that happen, decisions that, maybe you didn't factor things in, that all of a sudden something else happens, and that's going to be part of the situation, right? Part of your momentum check. So things can be going really, really fucking phenomenal in one area, and then all of a sudden there's something that happens in another vertical of your life that pulls you back and goes, haha, we're going to fucking check you. And that's really what has been going on in the latest couple of things. Now, for the last 10 days, we've had the opportunity, obviously, to work with some like well-known individuals in terms of like publicity, right? So again, they're just human beings, but they're in this structure where, based on the public eye or being known or being seen or just having that sort of momentum or that level of fame, really is what it is in terms of vocabulary. We've got an opportunity to work with one of the artists, Mr. Vanilla Ice, which has been great. And so between that and then still investing time in working and producing and video production and the content that we're doing, looking to build workshops and all these things that we have in the pipeline before that project or that opportunity came about. Like, things are moving and grooving, and all of a sudden this happened, and it was like, wow, this is really good. It goes to show, it goes to revalidate the things that we're doing correctly, because we've gotten a chance to work with somebody like that who's worked with previous artists before, camera people or production teams, and there's a level of wow, like this. There's a level of validation there, which obviously there's a level of validation from previous clients, et cetera, but because of the structure of society and how we see an individual in terms of fame, it puts you on a whole different, level of arena, I guess, in terms of where you're playing, what you're playing. So that's been very exciting, super high level, super high energy because of those things that are happening. We got a chance to go to an Orlando soccer game where Mr. Vanilla Ice and his crew were performing a concert, including Rob Bass and Montel Jordan, which, it's I Love the 90s tour. It was just an amazing opportunity to not only be on the field before the game and be in the skybox with Mr. Ice and his crew, but also got a chance to be on the field for the concert, which was fucking amazing. A lot of things happened that I'll touch base on even more on a micro level, because there's also lessons to be learned in all these other situations. But so that happened. We've produced several pretty awesome, amazing videos, from the B&I presentation video that I did a couple of weeks ago to a couple of commercial spots that we created for a couple of our clients that really took off, and that you can really see the level of our production and where we are. And that's, again, with just like two people, right? So like when you think about production or commercials or things like that, there's a whole fucking crew out there. There's about a minimum of 4 to 6 people between lighting and sound and cameras and directors and script writers and all that stuff. Like, we have been able to fucking do that shit, like what a crew of 6 people do in just 2 or 3 people, right? So like I am proud to say that, and I can pat myself on the back because it's a fucking feat to be able to shoot at a level of quality, sound design, editing, and all that stuff. Everything that a full production fucking studio does or agency does that has 6 to 10 people working on something. We've been able to do that level of quality with only two to three fucking people. So good job, Wilson. And so knowing that and producing and crushing and just being in it and understanding that like I have to get up and I have to go do, on top of the things that I got to do, like these additional things, like this project that we got an opportunity to work on with this level, this person who has a level of fame, as well as still manage to produce and produce the content that we have to produce for our clients that have, that are paid clients and that have trusted us with the things that they do. So there's lots of things going on, especially within the production game, because it's not just, let me shoot this on my camera and then all of a sudden it's ready to go and this video's done. It's a lot more than that, right? So whatever, to me, I'm okay with it. Like I'm okay with it because it's my craft, it's where I'm at, it's what I'm excited about, and then just having that extra validation from someone who's famous and their crew and the people that have been shooting and filming for them, like having that revalidation from other sources that do what I do or do what we do, and then just have that feels fucking amazing. It felt great. So we were on this high for the last 10 days, working, crushing, and that's why could I have sat here and filmed a podcast? I absolutely could have, probably, but we were on just this go mode that there was a lot of things happening, and then and because of that, like there was moments where I'm like, man, I think I need to sit down and do a podcast, but man, I'm fucking tired and it's already 3:00 in the morning. You know what? I'm going to go to bed and wake up and let's do it again. We'll see if we can figure it out. So that's just the reality of where things have been. And then all of a sudden, so, and overall on a macro sense, you're like, wow, that's pretty fucking amazing. Like, it's really good, man. It's like, it just felt good, right? It felt really good to be able to do all these things and continue to crush, and at the same time be validated. But then, there's always this momentum shift. There's always this check and balances, and this is my macro level. So things are going great. Things are going great. Things are going great. Let's go. We got potential clients lined up. We have this potential gig. Everything looks good. We're moving in the right direction. We're working on these systems that we know we have to. We got a bunch of these, other video productions that we've been able to produce in like less than 24 hours or 48 hours, which is fucking unheard of in terms of the quality that we can put out. So the output is huge, right? Now, a couple of days ago, then all of a sudden there's these situations that all of a sudden like, boop, boop, check you. And one of them was, we looked at our accounts, like our bank accounts, and one of our kiddos are still connected. Like we have link accounts to make sure that, obviously when they were young kids, that they were doing the right thing with their money, or, not overspending, or just making sure that things were obviously like a parent-child account, right, which you still have access to. So we looked at one of the accounts, and one of the accounts turned out to be negative $3,600 or something along those lines. And long story short, like, which again, we'll probably go into more of a micro in other episodes of like some of these lessons to be learned, because there's quite a lot of lessons even within the situation, like parenting, looking back in terms of how to help develop a child's ability to understand social cues, maybe even certain parts of it, like autism or tisms, in terms of like identifying and knowing and not being afraid to see if that is the case, right? So there's lots of micros in this situation, but let's just stay on the macro for now while we go through it. So ultimately, the macro is one of our kiddos unfortunately got catfished. Really was just engaged in like a friendly, we care about you relationship type thing over like on a message, on a platform message, and one thing led to another, and unfortunately got taken advantage of, where he gave up all his information to his bank account, Cash App, all these other things that are connected financially, and at the end of the day, ultimately, he was being used to launder money and then buy Bitcoin and then send it. And unfortunately, he never got it never transpired into anything that he thought was going to transpire. And during this course of actions and situations, like, he fell for someone that took advantage of where he's at in terms of like his own emotional state. And again, there will be another episode on the micro of this, of the things, and when I look back now and reflect as, either a step parent or somebody that's there to try to guide him in certain directions, things like that. that I think we could have done better. But again, this is the situation. So we go from the super fucking high of riding this great roller coaster of like, look, we're doing great, can't wait to get to that next level, to all of a sudden, boom, we get checked with like, what the hell is this? What is happening? And now all our accounts are locked. Like all our personal accounts got locked because they were interconnected with, Ozzy, right? In terms of like the accounts or the adult accounts or whatever, however that works within the banking system. So that was one, right? And that was one where now we have to go to the police, file a police report, go to the bank, share with the bank like, hey, here's really what happened. This kid got coaxed into doing this, and then hopefully they find it in their heart to not, to waive that loss, the $3,600 as a loss, and not have Ozzy responsible for it. But at the end of the day, like, here's another macro point, which I think, we'll get to, which I'm going to reinforce with the other things that have happened that have checked us. And that's, what can you do about it? Right. So like at the end of the day, like there's nothing you can do about it. Like if you get to this emotional state of just like over emotional fucking panic, over emotional state where it just drives you to this level of like either anger or whatever the fuck happens, that we kind of wanted to feel in that moment, right? Like I know Patty had an emotional moment for probably 24 hours when that happened because of all the things, right, that you can probably think of in terms of what was going on in her head as not only as a mother, but also now her account. She had money in there that she wanted to use for spring break because her friends and cousins are coming down and wanted to enjoy that together. And now all of a sudden everything's frozen. So there was a high emotional state there, but at the same time, I tried to suggest and encourage, and it's the same thing I'm going to try to suggest and encourage to anybody that's listening that might be going through something like that, because we've all been there where we're on this fucking momentum, and next thing you know, we're like fucking checked by the universe. Is there's nothing that we can do like to expend or to put out all this additional energy of just like emotional negativity or anger or whatever the fuck on a situation that you can't really do anything about other than go do the things that you need to go do, then that's it, right? Like I think that's the main point is like when things like this happen, there's going to be several options to go do something that you now need to go do to fix it or eradicate the situation without it being so emotionally charged to the point that it drains you, right? And so what do we do, right, in this situation? Well, before, like when we first found out, it was like, okay, well now, like, when I first found out, we really, like, the bank already flagged us. The bank already fucking, Patty went and took Ozzy to figure out why he had this negative charge on his account. Then the bank considered it fraud, pretty much froze everything. And then from there, it was like, well, then, like, I got the text like, hey, all our accounts got frozen. It was like, fuck, okay, well, we're gonna have to figure it out. Step one is figure out what exactly happened. So we did that, figured out who he was talking to, what was happening, like the chain of events, if you will. And then from there, now the next step is, okay, well, we need to we need to go to the police station, go put in the report. After the report, then we have to show the bank and then have a conversation with like the fraud department or the investigation department in terms of like what the bank is going to do and finally say. At the end of the day, you have 60 days to pay the bank back if they find you at fault. So we're at, 59 days, in. So the next thing is figure out if the bank will take the testimony. We'll look at the footage or look at the evidence in terms of like, hey, Ozzy really was coaxed into it. He didn't do this on his own will. He was, under whatever the technical terms are, someone sort of taking control of their emotional state and then telling them what to do. And then we'll see if hopefully they say, yeah, we'll take the loss and let's not do that again. Or sorry, it doesn't fucking matter. The person ended up, your kid ended up coming in and saying X, Y, Z and doing whatever. And now you're still responsible. So, and then what are we going to do? We're going to have to fucking pay that money back. If we're doing, we're going to have to figure it out. So that's one. And then on the very same day, decided to take the motorcycle out to go look at a potential place that we were thinking of getting. And the place is a little bit out there in the sort of isolation. And so the back roads are somewhat soft sand, right? They're not even paved yet. And so I decided to take the motorcycle. When Patty told me, hey, why don't you just leave the motorcycle here and we'll drive the car? I said, yeah, no, sounds good. And then all of a sudden I changed my mind because I'm like, man, it's such a nice day out. I want to ride the motorcycle. And I went. So I think everyone knows, like if you're listening, I think you know where this is going. And so we almost get there. Soft sand. I go to turn. I get a turn on the bike. I lose control because of the soft sand, and I fall off the bike. Nothing fast, nothing crazy. Luckily, I don't hurt myself like body wise, but my bike gets jacked up. Like I get stuck in fifth gear. So something happened where it fell on the gear changer or the shifter on the motorcycle, and somehow somewhere inside it got stuck, and that was it. I have 5 gears, and it was stuck on gear 5, and I had to ride it all the way home. So we checked out the place. We're like, okay, we don't know if this is going to be the right place. There's an opportunity there. I'm still thinking about it. But again, another way to just fucking check you where things are happening, things are going great, and now all of a sudden, not only is the bank negative $3,600, but now I have to bring the bike over to our homies and see what that's going to cost. So just another situation or another thing that is just going to be like, fuck, all right. But at the same time, same thing, like back to reinforcing the same macro point. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to cry about it? Am I going to kick the bike? Am I going to get angry at myself? Like, maybe I got to listen to Patty a little bit more. And I've said this before, and we've got to listen to Patty, 1. And 2, now we have to go figure out what the solution to it is and just go fucking do it. And lastly, I think this is where moments like this, you can either fucking give up and get in your fetal position and ask yourself, why me, poor me, all the bullshit. And I've done that before, right? But now I'm at a level I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. We're about to continue going because like there are these things that we got to go get done. And ultimately, like what I said before, if you haven't listened to what I would tell my 18-year-old self, here's part of it. It's like, you need to go buy back time. I'm at a moment right now where I'm like in that middle of like obviously I'm going to live longer than 50% of my life right now. Like if we were to double in terms of how old I am, but still like, it's not that much longer other than 50, it's definitely longer, but definitely not like that much longer, not like crazy amount. It's like, I'm not, if I live to 150, that'd be awesome, but come on, let's just be realistic. So I'm at this fucking point right now where it's like, dude, we need to just, now that we're at a level of awareness and just understanding of life, now it's like, let's go fucking get it. And no matter what, nothing's going to stand in our fucking way because our main goal is to go buy back our time. That's it. Buy back our time. And we're going to do it by taking less emotion in terms of anything that we do and just making decisions with what needs to happen in order to make that happen so we can get to that level. Thanks for listening, everybody. That was great. So those are the things that are happening. I look forward to getting on the next one. We do have other guests lined up. I can't wait to share those with you. We will be giving away a retreat. Ideally it was going to be the one in July, but I think we're actually going to give the one in August, but it's not in Potomac, not in West Virginia this time. It's actually going to be in Puerto Morales, Mexico, which is a beautiful, beautiful spot. I think it'll be worth it. And again, the only 2 things or 3 things that we ask people to do is follow us. Make sure you listen to, obviously, the podcast. And if you are, thank you so much again for doing that. The second thing would be follow us on Instagram at ncyd.com. And the third thing would be spend at least $100 on our awesome clothes, ncyd.com, which we have t-shirts and clothing and things like that. So more details to come on that, but just do the first 2. And then once we're official and once it's up, we can then start doing number 3. Definitely rate us would be amazing too. If you can rate the podcast and then follow us at ncyd.com. And once it becomes super official, we'll get out there and we'll have everything on the website so you can go visit and spend $100 to get in. And we're also going to be partnering with Yes, You're Invited, which is like a non-for-profit that throws parties for special need children. So they feel included, they feel loved, they feel everything that, usually normal kids get at their birthday parties, which I think is a fucking awesome idea. So keep crushing it. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. And don't forget, nothing changes until you do. Peace.